neighborhood. This is the place where you're entitled to Brad's opinion. And now for your host, Brad Allard.
Well, another lovely Thursday. Last Thursday, I had on the several nonprofits here in the community, and one of them is Jessica Valley Reams, and I got so much fan mail saying, we got to have her back. I said, okay.
I'm sure.
And it was like my email box was overloaded for demands on having you come back. So here you are.
I am.
And to talk about your programs and whatnot and your facility, which is still fairly new. Mm-hmm. Still got that new facility smell?
More like cricket smell. Do you guys have that problem?
Crickets? No, that's not been a problem. But,
oh my gosh, they come in through the cracks.
Do they? Oh, that's good.
Yep, that's what I listen to all day long.
I bring my business here. But as far as your new programs and whatnot, the facility, we should talk about that some more.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, because you had 8 minutes, and then it's about it. But
yep.
But we can get further depth. But before we jump in that subject, let's talk about at least the first round of sponsors. Thank you, CrossFit Burleson, 317 Southwest Wilshire. They got the plans, they got the programs. Y'all do much with them by any chance?
No,
okay.
That's a totally different. We work with low mobility.
Okay, so it's not, you don't have like CrossFit type workouts?
No.
Okay, well, I wouldn't think so because some of these CrossFit. Well, I know.
We could.
Yeah,
we just don't.
But CrossFit's pretty intense, isn't it not?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've done it. I actually did it there after my son was born, Cam.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That's how I lost all the baby weight.
No, really? Have you met the new owners by any chance?
No.
Okay. Well, they're there right now, waiting for you.
Okay.
And
well, I'll head
all
over
right,
there.
yeah, okay. CrossFit.burleson.com will tell you about their plans, programs, classes, etc. So give them a holler over 317. Also, Shandy Stoggsdale with the Stoggsdale Group. She'll be selling the house. I know she's closing one next week. That's what I meant to say, not selling. She's already sold it. She's closing next week. And that's a good thing because, I've been reading the papers about real estate, and it's tough, but, it's still working here in Burleson.
Yeah.
And she's the one to talk to if you're thinking of moving in an area. You're going to move anytime soon?
We were looking at it, and then we looked at interest rates, and unless we pay cash, not happening.
Okay. So anyway, Stoggsdale Group can help you with that. Also, I was just there this morning, our place, great food.
Food.
Now, Otto's son Ryan's getting married next week.
Oh, yeah. I did not know that.
He's a good kid. Well, he's no kid. I mean, he's a man that runs a business, but he's a kid to us.
I'm like, wait a minute.
No, all these younger ones, you have to.
They're always kids.
They're always going to be kids to us. I'm still boy to my older relatives, so whatever. Anyway, our place is a great place. It's comfortable. The food is great, and the service is great. When I go there every other Thursday morning with a group of guys, and when they walk by, the waitress says, "I know what you want, I know what you want, I know what you want." And so
become regulars.
Yes, and you have that kind of stability in staff. I think is a great thing. It's a testimony to Otto.
Yeah.
And so there you go. Also, I was just there yesterday, Wild Cigar and Culture. I was visiting with Nathan, who runs the shop, and it's a great place. It was about 1 in the afternoon, and there's about a half a dozen people there, and they're having a cigar and looking at their laptops and maybe doing a little business. It's a good place to do stuff. And they had the afternoon baseball game on. It's not a bad way to spend the afternoon.
There you go.
There's a lot to be said for that kind of lifestyle, and but it was a good place. And so check out Wild Cigar and Culture. It's over at the Standard. Also, next week, Local Life Magazine comes out. Tiffany is hard at work now, trying to get it together in time, and she almost always gets it on time. The only time I've ever known her to be late is because COVID and supply shortages were really, really tough. But since that's eased up some, it goes out on the first day of the month, and it goes to 30,000 homes, and it's very direct marketing, and it's one of the best there is. And people think print might be going its way out. I think it's coming back. A lot of people told me that because I guess they get tired looking at the screen.
Yeah.
Us older people like to look at something and hold something in our hand, I talk to kids and I go, I was reading the newspaper the other day, and they're like
what's that?
What? These kids, they kill me. They're, whatever. I'm just getting all ready. Anyway, let's go on. Thank you, Tiffany. Also, speaking of young kids, this is Cody O'Brien's little outfit, the Burleson Buzz, will keep you up to date what's going on. Have you talked to him by any chance? Okay,
yeah.
You talked to him.
He did a whole article.
Yeah, that's what I was remembering now. Because
He got my good side too.
the good side. Okay, well, everybody keeps track of the sports in the city council and school, and so it's a good little publication that wants to be a good little or a good big publication. So help them out here. Okay, so let's just talk. I kind of in a way miss you being right over there. It was about a block from
Be
here.
like, hi.
Hey, how you doing? Whatever. But this new facility is probably more suitable for what you're trying to do, right?
Yep. It's 2,600 square feet. So 1.5 times the size over there.
Well, how did you choose this location? I mean, it's because it go from here in Crowley to just outside of Burleson.
There's not a whole lot of commercial real estate that isn't very high priced.
You looked around a bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were looking around for about a year or so, and just happened to stumble upon this that was just being built. And it was the right price.
Where were you looking here in Burleson?
Pretty much anywhere that had a for sale sign or for lease sign.
I had Alex Phillips on here about 2 months ago, and we were talking about this property. It's going to be redeveloped. It's on Summercrest and Wilshire. It used to be where that Glad Mart was. And all that. He said that was the most expensive commercial property in Johnson County.
Yep. I called them for the old dentist office, and I can't remember what it was, but it was way out of our price range. We couldn't go from what we were paying to what they wanted.
So the tears didn't work, huh?
No, not at all. They don't like me when I cry.
Yeah. Well, that apparently we need Fat Boy hamburgers. I think is coming there, and some sort of salad like Baja Fresh or whatever.
Because we need more restaurants. We need more sit down restaurants, like good mom pop sit down restaurants. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, I agree. But, and I asked Alex that, and I said, do you think we'll get too many of these things? And he goes, that's not my problem.
It's pretty much whoever walks through the door with the check.
Right, if they think it's going to work. Anyway, we got off all that subject.
No,
but anyway, so but you looked at all these other properties, but this one apparently works. I know it's in an industrial park kind of thing. Do people have a hard time finding you?
Yes, actually.
Okay, so tell them what they should be looking for then as they try to find your place.
So it's right past Villa Diana on Renfro.
I'll go more
on the same side. And then there's basically an industrial park. It's a bunch of garages. There'll be cars out front. And we're in the second building. So we're not right on the main road.
Right. So you're not facing it, but do you have any kind of signage or anything like that?
Yeah, there's a big, huge sign that lists everybody's information, like what their numbers are and like what the business is. And our logo is up there. We're the only one who actually has the logo up there.
Which side of Dollar General are you on?
Same side as Villa Diana.
Okay, and but you go
before you hit Dollar General.
Before you hit Dollar General, it's that set of buildings. Okay, so it's really not that hard. You just got to know where to find it.
Yeah, and so like when somebody comes over, because most people will reach out to me first, I'll actually send them a dropped pin. So it actually, if you pull up 2601 County Road 528, that will pull up the actual where I am, as opposed to if you put in the mailing address, which is 2601 East Renfro.
Oh my goodness!
Yep.
It's just to make it just that much more confusing, right?
Hey, we have had 2 incidents where we had to have emergency people come out. And I won't go into details about that, but that's fun when you're standing on the street corner flagging them down.
Oh my!
Because they pass right by you like 4 times.
Yeah. Well, we're at, and I got to turn my phone down. Doggone it! Turn down the phone. Anyway, they, I know how you feel because I live, we're almost within walking distance of you. I live about a quarter mile from Villa Diana. And, we even had, fortunately, a lot of need for emergency services. But over the years, we've had a couple ambulance calls. And one time they got lost. And I think it was having a kidney stone.
You're like, hello.
And it's like, and they got lost. And then they got lost leaving. And and then they try to charge us. Oh. And my wife explained to them in a very direct and focused way that is not going to be the case.
Right. That's your fault.
Well, I know it, but it's like the extra mileage is, it's like $10 a mile, and they charge us like another $80 because they got lost in that. No, that ain't happening. But no, I understand how how it works. I mean, it's out in the country, people just know.
Right.
where things are, and if they don't, whatnot. So how do you reach out to potential people, or is it pretty much just word of mouth?
It's word of mouth.
So I know this is one format, but do you do other types of promotion, social media, or?
Yeah, so we are on all the social medias. So, we do our little hashtags the same as most other people. And so sometimes people will run across that. We're in Facebook groups for adults or parents with kids with disabilities, or we'll go to some sort of like vendor event or something like that, especially for kids who are, and I say kids, adults who are aging out of the school population. So there's those kind of events that run, or like what happens after. And so all sorts of different people will come for that.
Do you do a lot of things with the Center for ASD?
No, not necessarily. We do kind of like partner up periodically, but not a lot.
I thought maybe I know they have an event coming up, and I don't know if you're participating in that.
No, I actually had something else to I was like, man.
I know. Yeah. Well, this time of year is really busy. I mean, I always thought it'd be good if all y'all that did nonprofits said, I'll get together one day and get this big calendar out for the year. And,
what are we doing?
Yeah, and coordinate that, because they used to say that when I was teaching school. How come all you teachers put your tests on Thursday? The same day. I had 4 tests this Thursday and all this other stuff. And I thought that might work if you had all of them. So because I know
that would be a good idea.
There's a couple of them I know that are conflicting with each other. And,
right.
And there's some people that are involved just about everything. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, we were talking last week about this. And I don't want to call it a burden. That's not the right word, but
stress.
The stress, the load you have to carry to a nonprofit. All right. I know that for-profit businesses have their issues as well.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But
they've got the same stressors. It's just
but y'all's I think are in a different type because you're so reliant upon. Not just donations or giving, but just, it's just hard.
It can be, yeah.
Yeah, and we were talking about that last week.
Yeah, constantly asking, your friends and your family for time and money.
And volunteers. That's that one thing, that conversation we had afterwards that was taped, that's one thing recorded. That was one thing I think I kept hearing from y'all is, you got this fatigue from asking things of people, for people.
Think about like your friend selling some sort of like multi-level marketing, right? It's the same thing. The difference is theirs is a multi-level marketing. Ours is a business that is standing, right? And so, but we're still saying the same thing over and over and over again. Buy our product, donate, give us time, give us effort. And it's a lot of times it falls on deaf ears.
One thing I didn't get to ask y'all is the stress of planning events because because I've seen all of y'all have events. Lisa has her City on the Hill. Lisa Bolton House has several things. ASD. Megan and crew have. Or Next Step, they have these.
Big events.
The Walk for Life. All this other business. You do yours. I used to do them, but you're.
So I am not a party planner. It is not. It's not out of my wheelhouse. It's not that I can't do it. I don't enjoy doing it.
Well, it's a lot. Yeah,
it's a lot, and it's a lot to fall on one person unless that is your passion. If that is what you're really good at, that's awesome. I am very much passionate about the actual giving of service, right? So like actually providing the services that I provide. That is why I created this, was to be with the people and help. That's kind of why I haven't done it, but we're working on. I actually have a meeting right after this. I have to go to Pandan. Yes, meeting a couple people.
Pandan, the Thai place.
Yeah, yeah, the one in Burleson, not the one in Crowley.
Oh, I didn't know they had 2. But
yeah,
okay,
they have 2. Yeah.
Well, okay.
So we're going to sit down and hash out all the details of what needs to be done, and hopefully I can find somebody to lead that.
Is it as he makes a hint to the vast listening audience? Well, are you talking about around Christmas time or something after that?
So January is our 5-year anniversary.
Okay.
We will have been
that was
around.
my next question, actually, is how long you been? But
5 years. Yeah.
Well, that might be a good idea in a sense, to something mid to late January, because a lot of things go on at Christmas.
Yeah, a lot.
And not just nonprofit world, but all sorts of get-togethers and parties, and
And it's hard.
it really is. I mean,
Pretty much October, November, December.
well, 2 years ago, I remember you did something over at the,
At the winery.
Lone Oak, yeah, and and you had Stephen Carl Jansen there as Santa
Oh,
Claus.
yeah.
I don't know if he could do that this year. You know, he's
Yes, he had back surgery.
Yeah,
He is back to normal.
oh well, good.
Yep.
Well, I'm sorry to hear he's back to normal. No, darn, no, he's a good guy, and
Yeah.
I appreciate what he does for the community. And I hope, Stephen, if you're here and listening, I hope you're feeling better. I know he had somebody ran into his car yesterday. That's
Yep.
not good with just a recent back surgery. So
Yeah, I haven't talked to him since that. I saw that last night, but I haven't talked to him since then.
well, but anyway, back to the event. I remember that went pretty well. It was a silent auction, and you had Brock DeWald, I believe, singing, and
He plays awesome music, awesome Christmas music.
so I think it went pretty well. But see, for me, I just walk in and see the event. It looks great. I know you're about to go crazy, I'm sure, the night before.
So not me, my friend Holly, she pretty much did all of the food. And so because COVID was still sort of around and kind of fluctuating in and out, I think we did in 2021.
Yeah.
So COVID was passed. We weren't in the mask mandates, but it was still kind of like ramping back up again. So we put all of the food in individual boxes.
I remember.
And she was literally going, okay, you get 8 almonds, you get this many cheeses, like divvying it out.
Yeah. Well, also had the like $8 wine or something. Like you buy a glass and you get a piece of the action.
Yep.
Like some sort of bootlegger, I guess. But in a smaller way, when I was at high school, I did student council and I did homecoming dances and parades and
It's a lot of planning.
It really is, and there's a lot of activity going behind the scenes, and you're always wondering if you're going to have a large enough crowd to make it worth your time and actually make money from it and that kind of thing. And it was stressful for me, but then it's like,
But you're not a party planner.
not really. I was actually a school teacher every now and then. I teach class, but the thing about it is, it's like, particularly with the parade, it was
We've done it once.
the 2 hours prior to the homecoming parade was a beating.
Yeah.
But once they started lining up and rolling out the back gate, it took care of itself, and you're so relieved. Have you done a parade before?
We've done it once.
Which one, the 4th of July or Christmas?
No, we did homecoming.
Oh, you did homecoming.
We did a homecoming parade, and I created this whole superhero background and everything like that, and had the group from COI come out. And
I don't know that.
Community Opportunity Inc.
Okay.
They're the day hab facility that I go out and teach class to. A bunch of them came out and we walked, and it's a really fast walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've also done Christmas once, and that one we just kind of pretty much rode.
Yeah.
We all piled in the back of the truck, and several other people brought their cars, and we all hung out and had a blast.
Well, but so
it's a lot.
Yeah, I have some sympathy for what you're trying to do, because people to show up and see the party, and I try to tell people, who put these things on, and they're all worried about details. I said, it's like a wedding. Only the bride's going to notice. Everybody else is going to think it's a great wedding. And if some little detail goes wrong, it'll be one of those funny things you talk about a year from now.
And I'm very much a fly by the seat of your pants girl. So I'm like, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I don't care if the Christmas tree is falling over. Just leave it. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, do you have any idea what you want to do?
Kind of, but not really. So so it really depends. The meeting that I'm having today is to find out a little bit of details, but one of the options is doing kind of like we did at Christmas time and doing just a regular old fundraiser, at the winery, or the other option is doing like a casino night. So
What all night?
casino.
Oh, I thought you said kissing all night. I thought, that's one fundraiser.
That would be Valentine's Day. The kissing booth.
Oh, casino. Okay.
Casino.
I thought you said we're going to do kissing all night. And I'm like, okay.
I don't think that goes with
No, casino night. Yeah, that would. Yeah, I know there are outfits that do that.
Yeah.
They do it for fundraising activities. They get the whole shoot match. I know that BHS did it for Project Celebration a couple times. The kids really liked it,
Yeah. I went to Nolan, graduated from Nolan Catholic, and we did casino night in February every year.
So those nuns really knew how to do the cards,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, nun, what's up your sleeve? Oh, what?
Nothing.
Yeah. Come on, sister, cough
Like,
it
let
up.
me pull out the ruler. Just
Is that really is that a thing, really?
So I heard rumors, but when I was in school, the nuns didn't even teach class anymore. So
Oh, okay. Darn it.
yeah, we had teachers.
But anyway, back to the
The fun.
back to putting out, putting all this party you're putting on. You could probably do something maybe around football. I don't know. It's playoffs, all that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Of course, a lot of other things going around
Look
there.
at you adding stuff to my mind.
Yeah, I know.
Stop
Well,
that.
no, it's just yeah. You could do that, or I don't know, Mardi Gras in February. You can do that.
Yeah. Mardi Gras in February.
Mm-hmm. So you can maybe tie that in.
Throw
I'm
some
giving you all these ideas.
It's right up there with the kissing.
Yeah, no, yes. I did not know what that meant until about 2 years ago, actually. I'd never been to Mardi Gras.
Really?
I did not know what the connection was. And I said something, and they're like, you know how they get those beads, don't you? And I'm like, no, I just asked for them.
They do that.
Ask nicely.
No. So we went to New Orleans back when I can't remember. Like Cam was the only kid that I had at the time, and we went, and they do that all year. All year.
Really?
It's not a huge party, but like every weekend, like you can stand on the, balcony and of the bars, and they'll just throw them down to anybody. And yeah, it's not just the Mardi Gras thing.
Well, that's just some things, or there's Valentine's, right around the same time and all that other stuff. But, you'll come up with something. But
Something.
Yeah, but the thing about these events also is it's good publicity. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I've noticed with all of y'all is you got to keep the name in front of people, right?
Got to tell people. Because, if it doesn't pertain to you, it goes in the back of your mind and you forget about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's one of the stresses. I've talked to some of your colleagues, and that's one of the stresses I have is I feel like every day, every week, they got to keep pushing forward the product they're providing or the services they're providing and do the various ways of doing that. And it's some days are easier than others. Some days you lie there in the bed and say, no, I'm going to lie here.
Yeah.
I'm going to lie here.
I'm just not going to do it.
I'm not getting up till the rapture. I'm just going to stay here until it's over. But you got to get up. In a similar way, it's like this with the show, but I think the stakes on y'all are for higher in a sense because you'll provide these services.
I don't know. You still have to go around and sell your product.
Yeah, I do. But, the way I look at y'all in the nonprofit world, y'all provide a real service to the community that if y'all didn't do it, people would really suffer. If I didn't do this, some people would be glad, actually. but if I didn't do this, life goes on. But I think for y'all,
I know
for a lot of people, they'd really miss out, and their lives would not be as full, or whatever you want to say. They won't be as active.
Right.
And so y'all provide a lot of benefits to a lot of people. I just get up here and yak. Yesterday or Tuesday, I yelled about Joe Biden and these other people and, that kind of thing. And I could do that for free. So,
I mean, you can stand on the street corner if you want.
well, he asked me to quit doing that. But anyway, but y'all really provide something that I think would be missing out of people's lives if you weren't here doing it. Now, after the next commercial round, we're going to talk about the programs themselves. But you've told me before about your entry into this field. You probably could have gone into other areas like this.
Mm-hmm. And actually, I did. I started off as an adapted physical education teacher. So that's a PE teacher that works within the school districts that work with children with disabilities.
And probably would have had a steady paycheck, and your husband would have been a lot happier.
It's a very steady paycheck, and it's a 12-month paycheck. For those of you who don't realize, teachers take their 9-month salary and split it into 12 so that we're not paid during the summer.
Well, they always say, get summers off. Well, but I'm not paid for those summers, really. I'm paid for the days I worked, and then we just spread them out.
Yeah, and then my favorite was, you get off on, say, May 31st, right? And then June 1st, they're like, oh, hey, by the way, you have to come back for professional development.
Yes.
And don't forget, during the summer, you also have to cover your 10 hours that you need throughout the year. But we also provide you, teacher in-service days. And even though you've done all your hours over the summer, you still have to go to these. Oh.
Well, for me, I had to go to a seminar once every summer to maintain my AP eligibility, I guess.
Yeah.
And I went to TCU, and it wasn't a bad thing. There's a lot of people do what I do. We had a lot to talk about. The food was usually fine. But but that idea of just, I'm sitting around, day drinking during the summer is just not happening,
No,
and
not at all.
I mean, maybe I'm not working as many hours, but I also, we had administrators that said, here's a great book we want you to have read by the next time we see you.
Yeah.
Great. So I'm reading some book about, I don't know, teaching philosophy or
Ours
whatever.
were always something about conflict. Always about conflict.
I will say there was one time they gave us something to read that I think really was beneficial. It was about the impacts of poverty on education. I really did find that interesting, but some of the others are like, can I just get a beating,
It's like how to teach. You're like, well, I've only been doing it for 20 years.
Or that kind of stuff. But anyway, I don't know. We're getting off the tangents a lot
Always.
today. All right. But anyway, let's run this next round. So I'm going to get her to talk about her program. And Southern Gym. Is Jason taking you there yet?
No.
Well, he needs to do it.
We have 3 kids in private school.
They have affordable jewelry. Yeah. Well, I was just there yesterday.
That may be the only thing I get for Christmas.
Well, I picked something up for Robin for her birthday there last week. And because, she works there. And so therefore, we had some choices we could make. She, because, my wife is so into the jewelry inventory. She knows exactly where things are and whatever else. So I had to make a choice. And I guess I made the right one because she liked what I got. But as far as, for y'all that are out there in the vast listening audience, if you have some jewelry that needs repairs or designs or whatever you want to do, if you got some jewelry you want to redesign and refashion, you better get it in pretty soon, because if you wait until like early December, you probably are going to have a very hard time getting it by Christmas Day. Yeah. Because just the quantity of stuff. I mean, this happened to them last year, and now their store's even bigger. Yeah. So get it in October. And Gail will be on here November 2nd, so she'll tell you all about it as well. Also, thank you to our friends over at Old Pro, John Williams, 817-734-2756. Very, very nice young man. He really is, and comes from a good family. And I've used him for inspections, and this is a good time to actually have a roof inspection while it's
without the hail.
Yeah, without pouring down rain or whatever, and you find out in the aftermath, oh yeah, I have a leak. And it's a good time to find that now. And they do all over. They had some pretty heavy storms a couple of days ago in the Dallas area, and they do business over there too. So give them a holler, 817-734-2756. Also, Thrive Business Center. What that does is it's the whole 9 yards for marketing your business. It's not just social media and search engine optimization. That is part of it. It's also emails. It handles your billings. It handles all your contacts, calendars, just about everything you want to do. And it has interactive websites and things like that. And it's a lot of us in B&I use it, so it's pretty good at getting the word out there. So if you're out there, you have a small business and you need more exposure, Thrive is a good way to do it. Also, thank you to Lisa and Morris. I saw them yesterday at the meeting as well. Over at Stop Restoration, they do these inspections because a lot of people think, well, they have to wait till a catastrophe happens. Well, no, you may have problems and not even know it. And so they could help you with that. They can do mold testing, and they're certified to do that. They could help you if you have somebody in your family that's a hoarder. They showed me some pictures last week of a hoarder. Somebody was bought that place, and the people that lived there just didn't throw anything away, and it was almost unusable. Yeah. And they had to go in there and clean it up. They do biohazards, and
bless them.
Yes, it really. But they showed the aftermath, and it was much more.
I mean, I've seen my almost teen boy's bedroom. Can I call them for that?
Yeah, well, sure. And I guarantee you, if you need Lisa to straighten them out, listen here now, she could do it.
I keep telling them you're going to have roaches in your room. So I took a plastic one and put it down.
You said you had crickets at your joint, right?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. Crickets and spiders.
You know, when I was in Baylor, Waco had cricket problems. They were so bad that basically they would shut roads down because
Oh, my gosh.
well, people would drive over them and smush the guts. They become like slick, and you couldn't drive over it.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so, yeah, that's they had cricket invasions that would cancel.
Mine is not that
All
bad.
right, yeah, but I mean, they had a cricket invasion one spring in which they had to cancel several area sports events.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but anyway, back to Lisa and Morris. Thank
Did
you.
they clean that up?
Yeah, they could do that. Also, you talking about mortgage rates. Candy here can help you with that. 817-925-2661. It's Candy Gal View Mortgage. They're going to be on the 24th of next month of October, and they'll talk about rates and what's going on. And, you know, I read things about the rates, and sometimes it's concerning. And we talk about it a little bit, and, you know, she has insights on that. So, you know, it's worth listening to. I think that's about it. Is that about it? Yeah, it's about it. Yeah.
Oh, look, that is it.
Yeah, it is it. All right. Anyway, as far as what you're offering, are you offering different things now than when you did in your old place?
Nope. Still doing one-on-one personal training. We still do group fitness, but that group fitness is going out to facilities, day hab facilities, nursing homes, things like that. If you work with a group of adults with disabilities or aging population, we can go out there and do that.
See, my impression, particularly after I first got to know your outfit, was that you dealt mostly with people with mental disabilities, you know, autistic,
Intellectual,
and disablements of that nature. But you also deal with older folks that just trying to stay mobile,
Right.
even at their older age.
I mean, as you become older in general, your body starts to break down,
I heard that.
especially in this chest area.
Really?
You will start to see people like hunch over. And then I know everybody has seen the little old man, and I call him a little old man because he could be 40 years old, but he looks like he's 90, walking into the grocery store with the humpback. And it's very easy. Allow me to give you a couple months, and I will get your head standing taller.
So you go walk at HEB, you see somebody with
Oh my gosh.
yeah. I mean, do you see that? Are you tempted to go up to him and say, "Hey,
Yes.
bro"?
Tempted? Do I? No.
Yeah, but you think you go up to say, "Hey, I could help you with this,"
Right.
Quasimodo. You know, but I kind of joke, but I'd never really until just recently noticed how many elderly people live in this community. All right, and I'm not trying to be snotty, but there's a bunch. You go like I'm going to the grocery store after the show,
And it's not even an age. It's the degeneration of your body over becoming older. You know, I'm now over 40. Even in my 40s, there are people who look like they're 90, but they're 40, 41, 42. And it's just the way that you care for yourself.
How do you avoid that without, you know, I mean, some people do, you know, workouts like our friends at CrossFit,
Right.
et cetera. But how do you avoid that like on a daily basis?
Get up, walk, stand tall. Don't sit on your phone all day. Don't slouch when you sit. Be active. Just in general, if you go for a walk, and that is the easiest thing that you could possibly do. You don't have to buy any sort of equipment. Go outside in the morning, go outside in the afternoon if it's too cold in the morning, go for a walk.
Cold, what's that? I don't know.
I know. Give it a couple weeks.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, you know, like I've talked about my father on the show before, and we're dealing with some other type of issues, but physically he's okay. And part of that, he's 85 years old. Part of that, he did that bike race in Wichita Falls for like
Right.
25 years.
Yeah.
And he did a lot of other local bike races as well until really about a decade ago. You know, they have different lengths, of course. And
Right.
I think when he said doing the shortest one, which is about
10.
for biking, it was for what he was doing was like 50K.
Oh, okay.
All right, now 50
I
kilometers.
usually do like the family one because
Yeah.
the kids come with me and it's
Right.
like 7 to 10 miles.
Right, but when he said doing the 50K became
that's-
too much of an issue, that was it. But he physically, he's still okay at
Right.
85 years old.
And that's how you do it.
Yeah,
You just have to stay active.
Yeah.
My mother is 71. She plays pickleball. She drives me bonkers. And I know she's going to listen to this. And
Good.
Mom, you drive me bonkers. That she goes for a walk every day. every day. She's like, oh no, I've got to go for my walk. I've got to go for my walk.
Yeah. Well, it's sad to me though, when I go to HEB and I see people that probably are close to my age that just look in bad shape. And
so we can help.
Yeah. And so I just did not realize you did a lot of elderly care.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you go to like some of these homes and have programs or have classes or whatnot?
So we used to work with Elk Creek Retirement Community over across from BHS.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I think they just completed that not too long before I left.
Yeah. So we used to work over there. And we still work for, Heritage Place over there. So.
What do you do with them? I mean, what kind of exercises are we talking about?
So we work on basic strength, things of like picking stuff off the floor and standing all the way straight up, or being able to walk upstairs. We'll do a group fitness class, but those are, we do things like knee lifts, sitting in a chair, or knee lifts standing up, or we'll work on dynamic balance where you have to step your foot forward and back. And it's just basic, easy movements. But the fact that they're moving and not sitting in a chair all day or sitting on their sofa or in their bed all day long means that they're more mobile.
When you talk about sitting in a chair, you mean like a wheelchair, right?
No, even just a regular old like couch chair.
Okay, what do you do with somebody that is in a wheelchair?
Do the same thing.
Really? Even if they're not able to stand?
Yep.
Okay.
We just don't make them stand. There's always modifications, adaptations that we can do.
Okay. How big a proportion of your business is this type of care?
Probably about 20-25%.
So most of it, you're talking about mentally and disabled.
And intellectual.
Intellectual.
Yeah. Or some sort of severe physical disability, such as like scoliosis, multiple sclerosis, those kinds of.
So you help MS patients then? Okay.
Yep.
Well, so it doesn't.
Chronic pain too.
Oh, really? Okay. So you offer a lot more than a lot of people may think. They may think of you as helping somebody that has an autistic son or with a workout, which you do,
right?
But somebody that has maybe suffered a stroke and is having disability issues.
Yep.
But you actually have a pretty wide clientele service.
Yep. Everybody from, I think our youngest is like 20, 21, all the way up to, how old is she now? 78. Yeah.
How do these people come to you? I mean, is it word of mouth mostly?
Yep, word of mouth.
And it takes just a while. So when you started this 5 years ago, people probably didn't have any idea what you were doing.
No, and it started at the Brick, and it was just me. And so luckily I had a good enough relationship with the Brick, being there for several years before that. I was like, hey, this is a business I want to do. Can I do it here? And at the time, it was Jessica Martinez who was in charge. And she was like, yeah, go ahead. Put, your flyers up, put everything. And so basically, my business was a trainer for the Brick. And so that's how I got a lot of the clients that didn't have intellectual disabilities. That's how I got the elderly population, those that were physically unable to move, those who wanted to become a little bit stronger. It's really funny. Most of the people were like, do you work with old people? That would be like the first phone call I would get. And I'm like, yeah, that is exactly what I do.
So did you start off with elderly patients and morph into the other stuff?
Yeah. So my goal was to start and market towards people with intellectual disabilities, because that's my personal passion, right? However, when you show up, you get what is needed. You don't get always what you want.
Right.
And so what was needed at that time was somebody who could help the aging population, or even just somebody who wanted to get more fit, but didn't know how to use the machines. So they wanted somebody to show them how to use the machines.
Now, what you said there is kind of interesting. You get what they need, not what they want. Are sometimes these clients a bit temperamental?
No, not at all.
Really? Yeah, okay. Wise guy.
I do. I have a client, and I love him to death. He has an intellectual disability, but he is a hoot. He cracks me up. He walks in the door, and the way he tells me that he doesn't want to be there is he goes, the exit door. constantly throughout. It'd be like 2 seconds. He'll walk in, he'll complete the warm up, and he's like, the exit door. I'm like, dude, you have 55 more minutes. You are stuck. You're not going anywhere.
Well, also the people, the caretakers of these people, probably appreciate greatly just that hour of just being able to go run an errand or something like that.
Sometimes, yeah.
Do you ask for the caretakers to stick around?
Nope.
Okay.
That is completely up to them. Most of the time, the caretakers will stick around until they get to know me. And then, they're handing somebody that they love and they care for over to me, and they don't know who I am.
Sure.
They just go, okay, well, this is a business. Let's see. So they'll stick around for a good couple times. And then I have some that will leave, and some because of medical needs of that person. For whatever reason, they'll stick around.
Well, I'm thinking also you provide a similar service to our friends at ASD, because they provide respite care, as they call it, and it sounds like that's what you do. It doesn't
really fall under that, but yeah,
it's what it is. I mean,
pretty much,
because caretaking for somebody with a disability is a 24/7 job.
Yep.
And I'm bringing my family back into this. My mother's caretaking for my father, and
it's 24/7,
and it's stressful.
Yes,
and it's hard on her health.
Yeah.
God bless her. But my sister and brother-in-law live near them, and they go and help.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, so that's kind of their respite care, if you will.
My father had muscular dystrophy, and the whole time, pretty much since I was in college all the way through, he was in a wheelchair, and so my mother was his caregiver, and I got to see the toll that it took on her. And me being in college and becoming an aerobics instructor, one of my things was, you need this. And she's like, but I already work out. My biggest thing was come to yoga. Come to yoga. And my yoga is very much more like a mix between a power and a stretching yoga. It is not a full-on oming in the background.
No Zen thing going on with that thing.
We laugh. We laugh. I say, look, we can touch our foot to our head. It's like this far away, but I'm like, look, it's right here. And everybody's like, haha, no. But suggesting that to her at that moment, she was like, I already work out. I lift your dad 4 times a day. Like I'm exhausted. I can't do this. And eventually I got her to come. And not only did it make her, so she's in her 50s, I think at the time. Yeah. Cause I was in my 20s. And so she was in her 50s, and it made her the hump that I keep talking about, because she was an elementary school teacher. So she did this all the time. It made her stand taller, but it also gave her a whole hour to be away from my dad. And there was a restaurant right next door to where I taught, and she would drop him off, and he would go over to the restaurant and talk to the restaurant owners, and we would go do yoga. And that's how she got started in all this fitness. So when he passed away, she kind of threw herself into what she found fun, right? So running at the time, biking, just being active, it gave her a lot of endorphins, a lot of happiness.
When I think of yoga, people my generation, my age, think of Indian music in the background with incense and, some Hindu poses or whatever.
Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, there are some yoga out there that are just like that.
Yeah.
Mine, I've always taught in a gym.
Yeah.
You don't come to a gym for that kind of yoga.
No. Well, and it's also something that we always associated with female athletes or whatever you want to talk about. But you have a lot of male clients, I'd imagine.
No.
Really? Okay.
No.
I did not know
it is still predominantly female. It always has been. But I can always get about 4, 5, 6 men.
Well, we don't look nearly as good in yoga pants. I'll put it that way. That's not our style.
No, but I can put your foot behind your head eventually, right? It's like right here.
Sure. I don't think so. Without snapping a few hamstrings.
We laugh at it, right?
Okay. Well,
you got to work within what you've got.
Okay.
But
I know.
You should come.
You also do like therapy for people who got injured in accidents, and you're trying to rehabilitate and that kind of thing.
So we can't call it therapy because we are not physical therapists. However, we can work closely with physical therapists if you bring what they have done, right? So like, let's say I'm working with you and you're going to go see so-and-so at this physical therapy place. You ask them to print out an exercise whatever, bring it over to me. We can work on that. I can add some more. And then you take that thought of what we did and bring it back to them. If they say, no, don't do that, I won't do that. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor of physical therapy. I am a personal trainer. But so if they say, no, don't do that, that's kind of, how we work closely with them.
Okay. So, you don't try to take a role that's not really yours.
Right.
Then. Okay. How many people work at Fitability?
2.
You and one other?
Yep.
Okay. And do you have volunteers?
No.
Okay. Well, that's one thing you
don't.
don't have to shake down people, be volunteers. I know that's a stressor.
No, that would be for the fundraisers. That's when I need the volunteers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As of right now, it's so funny because I have a lot of clients that are like, I would love to work here. I'm like, I have nothing for you to do.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to do? Sit here and twiddle your thumbs?
Well, eventually, though, what is your ultimate goal? I mean, you want to expand, probably.
Oh, yeah. I would love to be like 24-hour fitness.
You want to work 24 hours?
No, but like a 24-hour fitness, where there's people who work the front desk. There's multiple trainers there working all the time. There's fitness classes going, all that kind of stuff. That would ideally be what I would love to do.
You need a bigger space.
I need a bigger space. I need more people, and I need more money.
More money, yeah. Well,
doesn't it always come back down to that?
It really does. And the thing about it is, 24/7 fitness or whatever you call it, or whatever, all these places that are pretty well established started somewhere,
Right.
and they probably started in a small place and got bigger,
Right.
And just grew and
Bit by bit.
well, y'all bigger now than you were when you started, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. It took 5 years, but
It's well, it's like you referred to this show before. It's like this. When I started doing it, I thought I was talking to the vast void, and now, I mean, I got a
now you got a room.
well, I got
a following.
I got established. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't say I'm viral or anything like that, but I got established, and now you're established, and you have a foundation to work on, but it just takes time, doesn't it? It takes forever.
It takes time.
And maybe one day you get big enough, you franchise yourself and
That would be cool.
make the money.
And then I could sit back and be like,
no, you won't
You're
do
right.
that.
No.
You drive poor Jason crazy.
I do this because I love what I do. I love working with the people. I don't know. I feel like a therapist half the time. Half the time I feel like they're my therapist.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you get talking kind of like we are right here. And then you're like, oh, look at that. It's an hour. Okay, well, I'll see you later.
A lot of people say that about, they come here and they said, they didn't realize time had already flown by. But because I enjoy conversating with if that's a word, with people in the community, because there's so many things going on in our community that a lot of people don't know about. And that's why I do this show, part because I'm a blowhard who likes to talk about politics. But,
Like to talk.
yeah. But there's a lot of things going on in this community people don't know about. Now, I'm putting a little pressure on one of our city council people, Victoria. All right. She was on the show with Adam Russell on a week from Tuesday. All right. Last week from Tuesday.
Yeah.
And before the show started, she asked me, what are you hearing from the nonprofits? Because I kept asking her we're going to talk about homeless or whatever. And I told her and said, I'm starting to hear that too. And she wants to put together a task force of sorts that would incorporate all of what y'all do, all the ladies and everybody else who wants a piece of that action, and have it put in like a promotable fashion, if that makes sense. I mean, they're not talking about building a shelter. They're not talking about putting city money in it, because a lot of these are...
But just promoting.
Yeah, promoting. I mean, these are...
That would be great.
Yeah, and she's going to be on the show again in about 3 weeks. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to keep her to it, because she's... I don't know if you know Victoria very well, but... You do know her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she's really good at putting these things together and making
sure. She has
sure...
a heart and soul for helping.
Yeah, and that kind of detail work.
Yeah.
And so
she's a party planner.
Yeah.
I am not.
Yeah.
Can you see the difference now?
Yeah. But I think that'd be good for the community, because a lot of people, I mean, as your business gets more known, you probably get more clients, of course, but
We need more people to work.
Yeah. And it is a strain.
Working on your feet all day, it's hard, and we work on concrete floors.
And then sometime you have to go find a way to pay the bills or answer the phone
And take care of our kids.
yeah. Oh yeah, kids.
Yeah,
What about
by
them?
the way, I do have a husband and some children.
yeah.
And so does my other trainer. She has, teens.
Oh, bless her heart. You're about to enter that, aren't you? Now, your daughters are what, 9 or 10?
8.
8, okay. And then your son is what, 12?
11.
11. I'm a little aging them faster.
Well, they're half anyway.
No,
so,
okay. Yeah.
11 and a half.
Oh, well, take it from an old high school teacher. Once at the teen years, it's all pretty easy.
It's all
from
downhill.
there. Yeah, it's easy. You're done.
Yeah, right.
They raise themselves.
Oh, yeah.
No problems.
Yeah, definitely.
They're less expensive,
Right. The stuff that kid wants for Christmas, he's like, Mom, he's really into DJing, right? So he has a whole DJ setup. He's got speakers that he bought that were around $40. He saved up money and bought these 2 little speakers. Those little speakers aren't good enough. He needs the big, like
amps.
the DJ. Yeah. By the way, I live underneath him. Like his floor is my ceiling, and he wants those big speakers, and I'm like, nope.
Which is, nope. No. Does he wants to be a DJ? He's like 11 years old. Does he rent out for parties and bar mitzvahs or what?
So we live in Plantation. If you come out on Halloween, that is what he does. He stands out. Yes. He stands out. He's got his whole DJ set up and he mixes music all night long and everybody thinks he's fabulous. And I'm the one who hears the breaks in the music, right? I'm like, oh, he missed that one. Because I'm mom.
Right. Oh, it's like earlier we were talking about these events. Only the people that plan them notice the little details.
The little things, yeah.
But that's an interesting career choice.
Yeah, except he has stage fright. Doesn't like talking to people.
Well, that's
He's
good.
a homebody.
Oh, well.
But I'm very much like that too. I'm very much.
Wait a minute. You're trying to tell me that you're very introverted. Please.
I am. So I'm very introverted, extrovert, or extroverted, introvert.
Okay.
So I like talking to people. I don't like presenting in large crowds. So I've been asked multiple times to do these big, large events where I would present and talk to, 50 to 100, 150 people. And I'm like, no.
Well, the thing about it is, what I tell people who have that kind of problem is that you're talking to friends. It's like, when you're performing
and that's what it is. It's performing.
It is performance.
And so I can perform.
Yeah.
But
it's all, but it's all friends there, your family there. It's not Broadway. And, people with notebooks going to write you up in the New York Times tomorrow.
They're going to be like, you were horrible. Slide.
Yeah, no. It's that's what I tell people. It's like I participate in several of the musicals, backstage sometimes, a couple times on stage. That was fun. And the kids are all nervous. Who do you think's sitting out there? It ain't
Mom.
It's mom, it's grandma that came in, it's your brother, your boyfriend, whatever. They're gonna be fine, and they're gonna love what you do, and it's all gonna be good.
Right.
And if the worst thing in your head happens, no one's gonna be throwing things at you. So
nobody's gonna boo you off stage.
Yeah, and it's very addicting. I mean, I did it for teacher town shows, and that first couple times I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But you go out there and then just, it's something that takes you over. And that's what will happen for you. You need to do speaking.
I know. I have a friend of mine who keeps pushing me.
Well,
especially she keeps talking about there's a whole conference for adaptive physical educators. And that's where they learn new things or new products that are coming out or stuff like that. And she's like, you should present at that.
You should.
And that's not a couple hundred. That's like thousands of people.
Well, the thing about it is, I've had a lot of people sit in that chair and say, I was really nervous until I started talking, and then and I'd like to think I have thousands of people, but then I'd be fooling myself. But I'm just saying, once you step on a stage and start doing your thing,
it becomes natural.
10 seconds, it's gone. And I know I'm saying this as somebody who stood in front of. You want to stand in front of hostile crowds, go be a high school teacher, all right? That's different, Yep. You're standing in front of about 35 kids that'd rather be anywhere else but in that room and try to keep them engaged. And so you get kind of used to, connecting with the crowd and all this other business. Now, you get up there in a room full of fitness people who all have the same passions. Yeah, and they're, that it isn't as hard as people think.
I just need to make the step.
Just
That's what she keeps telling me. You just need to do it. You just need to do it.
No, you'd be good at it because you go out there and you'll be your charming self and you'll crack a couple of jokes and,
Oh, you think I'm funny?
Well, okay. Yeah. No, you have a good sense of humor. And I think people see that. And definitely you have the passion for the job and they'll see that. And so I would encourage you to take this friend's advice. Go get it. And it would be, another way it'd be promoting your business.
Yep.
And
that's what I need.
And well, that's the name of the game sometimes,
right?
Isn't it?
Promotion.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, what else is you want to tell us? We got about 5 minutes left. Anything else you want to tell us? Nope.
No, I think that was
it's like that line from, I don't know if you've seen this movie Major League in
years and years.
Bob Uecker.
I don't even remember.
Bob Uecker asked his color guy, "What do you think, Monty?" Nothing. Okay, ain't the greatest,
Right. No, I mean, I guess if you know anybody who needs help, who needs even minor temporary mobility, send them my way. But also, if you know anybody who teaches fitness classes, we would love to start that in the afternoon. We just can't find the right fit for that.
Well, would that be like a part-time thing?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
I mean, if you're a personal trainer or aerobics instructor, it is always part-time.
Yeah. I heard it's a way to get rich quick. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Do you know how many people? So when you do this, people look up to you, right? And they're like, "Oh, I want to do what you do." And I sit there and I say, I'm glad. Please do it. We always need more trainers. We always need more aerobics instructors, but you're going to spend more than you make.
Yes.
That's just what it is.
Yeah. It's like all your friends were talking about last week. It's you get paid with good feelings. You might get
you get paid with a smile.
Yeah, that's your
thank you.
Yeah, it's not a way to buy a big house, but
no.
I say that about school teaching, but
my Maserati's outside.
I thought that Lamborghini was yours. It must be Taylor's. But no. Anyway. But no, it's an electric.
I told you not to tell anybody about the Lamborghini.
It's an electric Lamborghini. See, all right, and he's not going to.
Nice.
Okay, well, see, next week on Monday we're going to meet the new chamber president, Melissa Miller, and then Tuesday. Come on, doing this off the top of my head.
You need to have a list.
I do. I'm going to have to look on my calendar. Thursday's up in the air next week. I had somebody booked up, and then she called me yesterday and said, "Can we do it later in the month?" So
you should call Carrie.
Carrie.
The girl who was supposed to be on here today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll see what we got. Let me hang on there a minute. He got the music playing. He's like,
He's like, time to get off.
Time to go. I got things to do. Yes. Melissa Mathis and Brewfest.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah, I knew it was somebody new for me. I just couldn't remember. Melissa Mathis and Brewfest will be here. And
she'll be fun to talk
and she may have a guest. I don't know. And then as far as the 5th, we'll have to see.
Okay.
And so, because I may have to put a substitute. But anyway, that's fun of live podcasting.
Yeah. Everybody gets sick, right?
Yeah. Well, this is a professional conflict, but then but I had a couple that, COVID, has kept your friend from coming.
Right.
So maybe we can get her sometime soon.
Yeah. She's getting over it, but
yeah.
I love it.
All righty. Taylor, try to stay out of trouble between now and then.
We'll see what I can do.
And see what you can do. Thank you for coming by. I just enjoyed the
thanks
conversation.
For having me.
Well, we talk some about your business, but we just talk about
some.
Yeah, I know. Hoping to get something out there, and we tend to.
It's the same old.
Chase a lot of go down a lot of trails. Now he's getting the music louder. So I'll see you next week, guys. Bye bye.
Thanks.